Okay, I'm going to start with a very basic problem for adding and subtracting with unlike denominators. They had started off, let's just say with this example, on the last lesson, and they knew that since we're talking about thirds, that the unit is thirds, this could also have been written like this: 1/3 plus 2/3 equals 3/3, right? So it's the same thing as saying 1 bear plus 2 bears is 3 bears. I taught them that any time that they see that the denominator, which would be the unit, is the same, they can just go ahead and write it on over and then add the top. So today it's the same idea, but in this example, the denominators, or the units, do not match. So if you had, let's just say 1/3 plus 1/2, okay? Here we have cookies and cupcakes, bears, puppies. They don't match, so we cannot just simply add them over. We have to rename these to have a common denominator. Okay, so what you would do is you would list them both underneath and list the multiples. So we have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and then we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. You're looking for the smallest number that they both have in common. So in this example, the smallest number would be 6. So that's going to be their common denominator. So now you're going to go ahead and rewrite 1/3 equals something 6, and 1/2 equals something 6. Right? 3 times what gives you 6? 3 times 2. Since you do times 2 on the bottom, you have to do times 2 on the top. Why? Because since we're making equivalent fractions, you're just basically multiplying it by 1. 2 over 2 is the same thing as 1 whole. Okay, so 3 times 2 is 6. 1 times 2 is 2. Therefore, 1/3 is equal to 2/6. Here on the bottom, 2 times what gives you 6? 2 times 3. 1 times 3, because you did 3 on the bottom, so that gives you 3. So instead of having 1/3 plus 1/2, you have 2/6 plus 3/6. Since the units match now, you would just write it on over, and now you can comfortably add the top. 2 plus 3 is 5. Another example, you could do 4/5 plus 2/3. Again, the unit doesn't match, so you list them on the bottom. The smallest one that matches would be 15. So the unit that they're going to change to is, instead of fifths and thirds, it's going to be 15ths. So you would do 4/5 equals something 15th, and 2/3 equals something 15th. 5 times what gives you 15? 5 times 3. If you did times 3 on the bottom, you have to do times 3 on the top, because we're multiplying by 1 in essence. 4 times 3 is 12. Over here, 3 times what gives you 15? 3 times, I'm busy. 3 times 5. So you do times 5 on the top. 2 times 5 is 10. So now instead of 4/5 plus 2/3, you have 12/15 plus 10/15. Equals 22/15. So this is not okay. This is an improper fraction. This needs a makeover. And so we had discussed last week how to give things a makeover, but I'm going to do just a quick reminder if my child will let me. So 22/15 can't be left like that. There's 2 different ways to do it. The first way would be with number bond. If you were to take 1 whole out of that, would be 15 over 15. And then you have to think how many 15ths are left. Sorry, hold on, let me get my child. Can you wait right here, please? Okay, so if you took 15/15 out of here, you're left with 7/15. So therefore your answer is 1 7/15. Okay? You may not interrupt. So we'll do it a second way, where you can divide 15 into 22. 15 goes into 22 one time. 1 times 15 is 15. And when you subtract, you get 7. So you had 1/15 fits in 22, and you have 7/15 left over. So 7/15. So those are the two different ways that you can rename an improper fraction or a fraction greater than 1. So that's basically what I would like them to work on today. And I'll make another video for subtracting.